Hello, guys. I'm Bailey from Ramen Noodles, and welcome if you are new here. And today I wanted to talk about how you can start reading the Bible. And before I begin this video, I just ask you to criticize me on how I can improve on these videos to become better, and ask for prayer if you need in the comments and other things you would like to say. But now that I finished talking, we can start this video now. So let me flip the camera. If you want to read the Bible from the very beginning to get all the context and get to the end, then just simply read from the beginning of the book, which is Genesis right here. Get all the way down here, and it will be a long read, but trust me, it'll be worth it. Like, the more you start reading, the more you'll become invested in it. But if you want to read where you'll immediately get teachings or knowledge of godly values to your life and examples of how people doing those godly values, then go to these chapters right here. I'm sorry. Matthew, Mark, Luke, John, Romans, 1 Corinthians, 2 Corinthians, Galatians, Ephesians, Philippines, Colossians, 1 2 Thessalonians, forgive me if I'm mispronouncing these, 1 and 2 Timothy, Titus, Philemon, Hebrews, James, 1 2 Peter, 1 2 and 3 John, and Jude. Basically almost like the entirety of the New Testament. But if you want to know about Jesus and how he lived his earthly life, then you can read just Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. And if you want to read about how you want to know how the world ends and stuff like that, basically like how you think how everything's going to go down, you can read about Revelation right here, which is, I won't lie, it will be a scary chapter to some people, but it is good to know about this. You still should know about this. But anyways, I also want to talk about reading different versions of the Bible. Like, I believe if you either read the Amplified Bible or the Living Translation version, it'll help you understand the Bible better than the rest. But there's a website/app I use that helps out even more to understand the Bible. And excuse me, that website and app I use is called the Bible Hub, which I have displayed right here. If you want to know what the icon look like, and it breaks down the verses bit by bit, so you'll have full understanding of the context of what's happening, and it even references previous or forward chapters and verses when needed to add more grasp to it, like help you really like grasp about what you're reading. And I won't lie, you may not immediately be invested into reading the Bible at the beginning, and if that's the case, you don't have to read full chapters. If you're feeling out of it, you can start off small. So you should only read a couple of verses at a time if that's your performances. And over time, you should feel more motivated to read the verses, and soon you'll read entire chapters. I heard from a popular Christian channel called Impact Video Ministries. I will send a link to them in the description. That's better to read a couple verses that will resonate with you than to read a whole chapter forcibly as a chore and not have a strong feelings towards it. And it's not the exact words they said, but it's basically similar to it. I basically did say what they say. But I feel like the more you'll read the Bible to try to understand it, I know I already said this, but yeah, the more you'll read the Bible and try to understand, the more you'll naturally gain love reading the Bible, and you'll understand how the stories and motivations are connected, and it all makes sense. At the end, it'll all make sense once you just keep reading. You go back to previous chapters, and you'll get full understanding of that. You'll be like, okay, I get what this means now because this new chapter is talking about it. Or maybe like your experience of reading the Bible has like helped grow your brain into like understanding how the Bible talks and stuff. But of course, keep using like apps like the Bible Hub, for example, to make sure that you're correct. And also ask other people like, oh, am I right about this and that? So yeah. It also helps to watch other Christian content online that also examines these chapters and verses, these stories in the Bible. But there are rare occasions where you'll encounter a false teacher or simply someone's own interpretation that ends up being wrong. So it's good to read the comments first to see if the majority are agreeing or disagreeing. And definitely do your own research on the matter as well. But most importantly, try prayer for discernment. These are good channels, I believe, would be good starters. In my opinion, they explain the meanings of the Bible such extensively. I will be seeing a link to them in the description. And tell me just in case I forget to do that. But that's all for this video. Tell me if I miss anything. If I mess anything up, please let me know. But like and subscribe if you want to. And prayerfully, I'll see y'all beautiful people next week, God's willing. Goodbye.